In this multipolar, multi-conceptual world, India is the largest democracy in the world, 1.2 billion people. Aspiration is 5 trillion economy by 24, maybe 10 trillion economy by 2030. So India's influence is growing. Will that also lead to India taking, we will see a bigger footprint also from India on foreign and security policy in the region? In the 70s and 80s, India was in many ways the leader of the non-allied world. Today, it is a new reality, and where will India place itself, and what kind of political initiatives will we see from India in this multipolar world?
We will see diplomacy take different forms where the old ways of working will now not go away, but be tempered by much more, I would say, creative, innovative, ad hoc kind of working arrangements, often centering around issues rather than across the board. So the character of international politics will probably change in many ways. I agree with you. I think a lot of multilateral regimes will come under stress. How they survive will depend on how they respond to that. All in all, I would say a more complicated world, definitely a more interesting one, possibly a more difficult one. But where India is concerned, you also made a reference to G2. That's something we have never accepted. We've never been comfortable with. I think partly what would also distinguish us from other countries is that we still have a very strong relationship with countries of the South. We, in many negotiations, which we would have seen as trade minister as well, we not only stand for our own interest, to a large extent we voice collective interests of the developing world, G77, for example, certainly when it comes to trade or when it comes to climate change. So I think that's also a constituency for us. Now, when you look at all of this, you could on the one hand say, okay, it's all getting more difficult, probably true. But you could also say that we are in a very unique position, that today, being a market economy, a democracy, socially pluralistic, we have comfort with the West. Being Asian, part of the rise of Asia, we have comfort with a lot of this rebalancing in Asian countries. Having a G77 constituency working with countries of Africa and Asia, we have a much stronger bonding with those countries. So I think we could be at the right intersection. A lot of it, therefore, requires active diplomacy to make sure that those constituencies are all sort of brought together.